Greetings and welcome to another Patch Notes video here at Words About Games. And today I've dragged Keith and Russell and we're all sitting in the same video and we're going to talk about XO18, which just happened on Saturday, just gone. Which is, I guess, it's Xbox's PSX. Do you think that would be a fair thing to say?
Yeah, even though PSX was cancelled.
Yeah,
I
even
was
though
gonna
PSX
say,
was
well, no
cancelled.
PSXs, yeah. We had the kind of funny games instead.
Yeah, we're going to have the Kind of Funny Games Showcase, which seems like it's going to be bonkers, but we're not here to talk about that right now. Microsoft did a 2-hour special live Inside Xbox from the XO18 fan convention in Mexico. Not New Mexico, actual Mexico. Which was very different to... It was basically like PSX, in which it was like, here's the big Xbox fans, huge energy, loads of hype, not just like E3 where like they'll show something and people will go, woo. Yeah. Everybody was like chanting and stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, what did you guys think of it? Because I know you were there because you were in my live stream.
Yeah.
I think you both missed the beginning, but
yeah.
How do you find it?
Well, I just kind of went onto Facebook and there was a link to your channel. So
You're a very funny man. You're a very funny man. How did you find the show? Did you enjoy the show? Was it good?
I'll be honest, I kind of just zoned out for like bits of it, and concentrated more on making funny remarks in the chat or fixing my computer. That was pretty much.
Well, thank you for the funny remarks in chat. What about you, Russ? What do you think?
I thought it was alright. It was kind of like a bog standard run through this, talk about this, but not spending too much time on any in particular aspect. Lots of cheering, some bullshit conversations between some of the presenters, which is the usual case in these sort of reveals or killing time in between to stretch it out just a few minutes more.
Lots
That's
of
the bit that's
arguments.
those party hats, though.
There were party hats.
Otherwise, it was barely bog standard. What you wanted to see, I suppose. Could have probably done with a bit more detail on some of the things than like just chit chat.
I think it was a good.
But overall, it was alright. I didn't see any problem with it. It wasn't like it was overly long or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, 2 hours is long for one of these things as well. So
Yeah,
the fact
well,
that it was like
saying that it did seem quite long, but they did ramble through the stuff relatively.
Yeah.
So
the fact that it was like, oh, it didn't feel super long, despite the fact that it was longer than an E3 press conference. It was like, okay, that's good. That's a good thing.
But at the same time, there was this one advert which was popping up all the time.
NBA 2K Playgrounds 2, yeah.
I was like ramming it down your face.
Like, God damn, guys. 2K must have paid you some dollar for that. No, I mean, like, I went in with the right expectations, I think. Whereas, like, it's not going to be massive. None of the studios that they acquired at E3 are going to be coming out going, hey, check out our new game. It's just, that was some surprises, but for the most part, it was like, yeah, I expected most of this. But it was cool. Like, they'll do the same thing for XO19 probably because they'll have more to talk about. But I like the fact that they were able to focus on, whereas E3 is a more general thing, right? It's like, we need to make as big a splash as possible at E3, whereas XO18 was like, okay, now we just need to talk about stuff that matters to Xbox. So it was like, heavy focus on Game Pass. We got all the Xbox people out. So like Chris Sharla from ID at Xbox, Matt Booty, great name, love it. And like all of the social guys from there. It was fun, I enjoyed it. Like anyone that was disappointed probably went in with expectations that were way too high for what the kind of event it was going to be. Let's do what we came here to do and talk about the specific things that actually happened. And we're going to start with the end, which was Microsoft Studios announcing it had acquired Obsidian Entertainment, which we more or less knew was going to happen, and In Exile Entertainment, which we did not know was going to happen. So they've acquired 2 RPG studios.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. So Obsidian Entertainment obviously made Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Neverwinter Nights 2, South Park The Stick of Truth, Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity, Pillars of Eternity 2. In XL Entertainment make Bard's Tale series, and they made the Wasteland series. So those are interesting gets for Microsoft in terms of fleshing out their pool of development studios, because it's stuff that they don't have. They've now got 2 first-party studios with major experience in making role-playing games, which I think was a big gap for them.
Yeah, they've not had anything that's particularly interested me role-play-wise. Probably since Dragon Age, I suppose.
I think Dragon Age was more Dragon Age on Xbox. Mass Effect wasn't on it on PlayStation. Was Dragon Age though?
Dragon Age was on Xbox because
I know it was. I'm just wondering if it was. Sorry, what I should have said was
the first one anyway.
Xbox console exclusive.
I never played the second one.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the second one right now. Yeah, it was on PS3.
I was going to try and cover the fact you were looking something up by going on about that. I liked it, but you didn't. So
no, I was just quickly looking it up. It was on PS3. It was Mass Effect was, I think, the last RPG that was kind of like exclusive to Xbox 360.
I was thinking more like along the lines of what I'd played last.
But like RPG wise, they've always had to rely on the third parties. So this is cool news. I mean, they're 2 very talented studios who make very specific types of games. So, I mean, fair play to Microsoft, because at the beginning of the year, I think we all talked about it, and I did a video about what each console manufacturer needs to do in 2018. And the number one thing for Microsoft was they need exclusive games. They don't have any studios. They need studios. And they've gone out and gone, okay, here's a bunch of studios. We own them now.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that. I mean, we talked about
cool
it.
ones too.
Yeah, oh yeah, some
Cool
really
ones.
good ones as well. Like when we talked about because it was leaked in January.
Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
Way back when they were like, oh, there's been conversations about Microsoft. They want to make acquisitions. They've been looking at Valve, EA, and PUBG Corp. And we were like, they probably did talk about those things. It's never going to happen, but they definitely talked about it.
I mean, it would be nice to be a fly on the wall in PlayStation, Sony, just to see what their reaction is to all these studios getting bought up.
I don't think PlayStation would necessarily be bothered, purely because I think if you think about it, and in terms of if PlayStation was up here with like first party studios and Xbox was down here, they're just sort of closing the gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because obviously PlayStation have got a lot of first party studios like Santa Monica and Bend, whatnot, that we know about, and Kojima Productions. And Microsoft are just closing the gap at this point. Like the thing about them buying the studios is like their returns aren't going to come for years. Like most of these studios are probably making games. Some of the studios they bought, like Playground, are making a new game. Undead Labs are going to be continuing to support State of Decay 2, stuff like that. But Compulsion and Ninja Theory and Obsidian, etc., they're going to be making games. But I mean, these are games for Scarlet, right? These aren't games for the Xbox One. These are games for the next Xbox, because that's the kind of time frame you're looking at to make a game.
Wouldn't it need dev kits and stuff like that sort of thing?
Oh, they've definitely got dev kits.
Yeah.
I would go so far as to say, I would guarantee they've got dev kits.
When do you think the next Xbox is going to come out?
When do I think
No,
the
they
next
mentioned
Xbox?
it.
2020.
Yeah,
2020.
we covered this a little while back when they were going on about, like, someone was going about PS4.
Someone was saying PS4 is coming out at the end of the year. Nope. No, not happening. We don't know.
Yeah.
It follows the similar pattern of we'll know most of the details about the console before it gets announced. We don't know enough details about the next console.
It's not been any leaks or anything recently, has it?
Like,
you remember all the stuff we went on about for the Nintendo.
Exactly. It's like it happens for every console, but in terms of what we've covered as Words About Games, how much did we know about the Switch before we found out what it was all about? We knew just about everything except the name. like really minute specific details. Like we knew it was a portable hybrid console. We knew it was going to have detachable controllers. We knew there was going to be a Mario for it, all that kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, it's going to probably be 2020, but it could have a hell of a fucking lineup of games.
Yeah.
Just based on this. So the next thing let's talk about Crackdown 3. For starters, Terry Crews is fucking awesome. I can't remember if you guys were in the live stream when they did the Crackdown 3 bit, but Terry Crews does Terry Crews things.
I missed that.
I came into 100 acre wood.
Okay, cool. Obviously, it's coming to Xbox Game Pass. We already knew that. It's coming out on February 15th, 2019. So I don't know if Keith has any thoughts on that, or a specific conversation we might have had where he mentioned that games might move from that date, and I might have mentioned that no games will move from that date. Yeah, especially not Crackdown, because it's in Game Pass. Why did they care? Anything to say?
I mean, what the date? I thought the 22nd was the date that everything was coming out.
It is.
Yeah.
Crackdown's moved.
So they've moved like a week.
Yeah, it's like, that's my point I'm trying to make. I said nothing was going to move, and they moved it.
Yeah.
And you were right, and I was wrong. I'm setting you up for an opportunity that you're not taking.
Okay, hashtag Keith was right. I mean, it's like 7 days ahead. Will it get them like a lot of sales or anything?
Probably
I don't know.
not. Will it get a lot of people?
Running that Crackdown wouldn't the game wouldn't work quite well from 2 years ago because it's been delayed that much.
I mean, will a lot of more people buy it because it's moved forward a week? Hell no. People are still going to buy Metro and Anthem. But they're going to need something to do while they're waiting for Metro and Anthem. It's a Game Pass.
Yeah, this is what they're going to get more from Games Pass, I would imagine, than they would get from moving the day.
But I mean, like, we'll talk about Game Pass frequently as we talk through this. But I mean, that's their strategy, right? They probably want more people on Game Pass. I mean, even Phil said it when they did the interview with Phil in the XO18 thing. It was like, weirdly, more people are buying more games after they have subscribed to Game Pass.
It's a chance to test it out, isn't it?
Yeah, because you own the game. Then.
Do I want this? Yeah, I want this, and if I don't pay for the pass, then I can still play it.
Plus, like, it is like Netflix. Like, sometimes games will be removed to add new games in, so you never, like, sometimes like a game might be removed, you'd be like, shit, I still want to play it, I'll buy it. There was one game, Overcooked, actually got removed from Game Pass, but they did this really cool thing where they were like, it's coming out of Game Pass, and then the next month it was like, but it's in games with gold. Like, if you still want it, get it, kind of thing. But no, I mean,
I did get it.
I already had it. But yeah, Crackdown 3, they showcased the multiplayer, so this is the first gameplay we've seen of Crackdown 3. Mentally enough, this is the first time we've seen gameplay of Crackdown 3. And it was called Wrecking Zone, and to be honest, it does not look like my kind of thing. I think the fact that you can blow everything up is cool. But from a gameplay perspective, I was watching it, I was like, this doesn't seem great.
I didn't get to see that. I'll have to go back and have a look at some point.
I just feel like the only thing that is keeping my interest in Crackdown 3 is Terry Crews.
Indeed.
Loads of one-liners and like spiels.
Because it's just being Terry Crews. Like, it's weird, but yeah. On the back of this, they also announced that the original Crackdown is free in the Microsoft Store until November 30th, which again is cool. If you want to play a Crackdown, you can go ahead and grab it. And own it forever for nothing. Which is neat. Oh, speaking of grabbing things, so they opened with PUBG, and we knew there was going to be a very special PUBG announcement. And everybody was like, it's the new map, they're going to reveal the new map. And there was a few people going, because the rumours had just hit that PUBG is coming to Xbox, PS4 in December. And everyone was like, lol, they're going to announce it coming out on PUBG, on PS4. Nope, it's going into Game Pass. That surprised me. Like, 100%. But now that I've thought back on it, it makes perfect sense. If it is coming out in a month on PS4.
Yeah.
Because PUBG has been a draw for Xbox, like, to bring people onto Xbox. It's the place you play PUBG on console.
Yeah.
But now it's not going to be. So how do we still draw people in? Put it in Game Pass. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So like, you can just have Game Pass, and if you have Game Pass, you just download PUBG and you can play PUBG. I haven't played it in months, so I don't know what the game's actually like on Xbox at the moment, but
no, same. Last time I played it was with you.
Yeah, the last time I played it was on stream with you probably. But it's a great move by Xbox. They made a lot of great moves recently. Feels weird. But yeah, it's a cool thing. Continuing on. Phil Spencer said there would be some improvements to the Windows Store.
Which instantly, Amy replied, yes, they definitely need to do that.
They definitely do need to do that. Because it's shite. The Windows Store on PC is garbage. And to be fair, Phil even said, like, he obviously couldn't come out and say it's crap, it's a garbage fire. But he said as close to that as he probably could. Because I remember the question came up to Phil was, what's the next big focus? Because we've done Game Pass, backwards compatibility, studio acquisitions. What's the next big focus for Xbox? And he replied, PC. And you know, we need to focus on PC for a bit. And then he said, we've heard all your feedback about the Microsoft Store, which is as close as Phil Spencer can admit to saying the Microsoft Store sucks. We need to make it better.
Well, they're gonna have to if they want to get their Play Anywhere thing running, right?
Exactly. Like, again,
if people don't like using their store, then they're not going to go buy the games, and then people who play on PCs won't want to play the game because it's a hassle to go buy the stuff or get it installed or get it playing.
Exactly, and if it's tied to a storefront DRM system that sucks, then it's not going to join PC gamers. But it all ties into Game Pass. We know Game Pass is now coming to PC users. They need to have, but for people to buy into that on PC, they need to have a good experience.
Store has to work. Yeah.
The store has to work. The games have to work. So it makes perfect sense.
To PC. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was. We covered it in a podcast a few weeks ago.
I might get Game Pass just so I can play stuff on
yeah,
PC.
exactly. Yeah, it's good because it ties in with play. Because it's the great thing the way Microsoft has set up all these systems. It all ties together. Like Play Anywhere means that all of these games are available on PC. Game Pass being on PC means that all of these games are available in Game Pass, and you pay $7.99 and you can download whatever's in there. Hellblade is coming to Game Pass in December.
Indeed.
And it's getting a physical release. Microsoft owns the studio now, so
I really hope this means we're getting the soundtrack to that game releases an album, because that has an amazing soundtrack.
It's a great game. I remember sitting in the live stream for the entire time it was up, just going, get it, everybody, yes, if you haven't played it, get it. It's amazing. It's in Game Pass.
I haven't played it.
If you get Game Pass or you've got Game Pass, just fucking download it. It's like 4 or 5 hours it'll take you to play. It's amazing. So amazing.
Is there any difference to how much that's going to cost when it comes out?
No.
For the physical copy.
Whatever the price of the digital copy is, I would have thought. But again, $7.99. Boom, download.
Yeah, because it's not a game with a massive amount of replayability. $7.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a replayable game. I mean, you could, but you shouldn't.
I suppose I could get Game Pass and play some Halo Collection or something.
Exactly. Like
at the same time.
Game Pass, it started out as a promise. Let's just fuck it. We're gonna talk about Game Pass. Fuck this list of this order.
One thing, like, it's $24.99 for Hellblade: The Sinner's Sacrifice on Steam. Or you can just you're saving a lot of money.
Pay $7.99 and download it, and you'll finish it in like 1 or 2 sittings.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do the rest of the month? Well, let's see what else is in here. Game Pass as a proposition, when it was first announced, it was more of an idea and a promise. Someone in my chat did say Game Pass sucked when it first came out. Yeah, it did. But the idea was it would become what it is now, which is the kind of the Netflix of games. But also it was a promise to say all of our first party games are going to go into this. At the time, they didn't have very many. It was kind of a thing of pay it, get Sea of Thieves, and then wait for State of Decay and Forza Horizon 4. And as they've expanded the library and made additions like Halo Master Chief Collection and Halo 5 are both in there. Fallout 4 is in there. Ori and the Blind Forest is going in. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is going in at launch, as we found out at XO18. Mutant Year Zero, which is out in December, that looks like a really cool XCOM-ish style game, is going in there when it comes out. You've got games like Vermintide 2, so they've reached out to... So it's not just their first parties anymore, or all their games from other developers like The Division. they've reached out to indie developers who are making good games and going, let's put this in Game Pass. And a lot of them are now coming day and date for when they're released. So we saw they announced a game called Void Bastards last night, which was quite cool, by one of the co-creators of BioShock. And when that comes out next year, it's coming out and it's going to be in Game Pass straight away. Game Pass is turning into a really good subscription, like a really good investment. Like not something that you pay for when State of Decay comes out and then you play State of Decay for a month and then you stop paying for it until Forza Horizon 4 comes out and then you pay for it again. It's becoming a thing that's worth having for the entire year, rather than just something you dip in and out of when new games come out. Because it gets me, like, I'm a Game Pass subscriber. I have been since it came out because it's just super useful for me to have. And the fact that Ori's gone in there, it's like, oh, I've never played the definitive edition. I might go back and check it out because I can, because I don't need to worry about it, because I just download it on my hard drive and I'm good. Some of the games looked a bit weird that were going in, like Supermarket Shriek.
Yeah, that was a racing sort of game from the looks of it, where you or some sort of like
challenge
donkey
driving
and a guy.
thing, yeah.
You guy and a donkey and a shopping cart, and you blow to speed up.
You shout to make the cart move and stuff. There was a microphone monitor in the top corner of it. It's like, but I never would have played that. But I might, because it's in Game Pass. It's crazy how it works, how it gets you like that. Like, if I didn't already own PUBG, I'd be like, oh well, I'll try PUBG now, because why wouldn't I?
You came for Hellblade's Human Sacrifice. You stayed for racing a go-kart around the shopping mall.
Exactly. It's like, whatever gets you in there. Like, oh, I'm going to subscribe to Game Pass when Ori and the Will of the Wisps comes out. Boom, done. Right, I've played Ori. Well, I've still got this subscription. What else is in here? Oh, cool. This is here. Oh, this is here. Like, we got the app now, which means that I can actually look it up on my phone without having to turn my Xbox on, go into the thing, and see what's in there. It's like, oh, I can just go, oh, that's in there. Cool. Fuck, I didn't know. Elder Scrolls Online. Like, I had no idea that was in Game Pass. But yeah, it's turning into a really cool thing. So about Kingdom Hearts 3. There was another trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I pointed this out on my stream. There's an issue with Kingdom Hearts trailers that I have that makes them very hard to watch for me. Very
silent.
They're very quiet. So it was the same at E3 when we saw about 65 different trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3. Where there's this music, and the music's really cool. It's great. And the gameplay that's happening on the screen is okay. And the cutscenes are shit. Are out of context, not great. Like, the trailers themselves they don't have any sound effects. Why don't they have any sound effects? It's really jarring.
Off-putting, isn't it?
Like, maybe that's the intent.
It's
just your attention.
It's just really not pleasant to watch, almost, because it's like, oh, there's this music which is cool, and then there's these things I don't know
happening in the background, and then there's voiceovers, like parts of the story or whatever going on, is trying to, and it just seems so out of sync, and because it's not trying to be in sync, but it just seems so like random placements of snippet story bits, and it just
it's weird. It's like snippets of story bits, but it's in a JRPG where, like, obviously there's going to be massive cutscenes, and it's like a character will say something to another character, and then that scene's over, and then we're back to something else, and it's like, what's the value of this trailer? But on the flip side of that, like, because it was cool that Winnie the Pooh is going to, the 100 Acre Woods or whatever it's called, is going to be in there. There's going to be puzzle mini games and stuff. On the flip side of that, Devil May Cry 5 kind of had the opposite problem, where they did the very Japanese thing of over-explaining what they were trying to show. Like, there was a cool trailer in what they showed for Devil May Cry 5, but instead of just showing a cool trailer, it was, I'm sitting down with the developer, we're going to show The Void, which is this place where players can train and learn their moves and stuff, but I'm going to show you in depth all of these different things which would be cool in like a 2-minute trailer, but in like a 10-minute thing where it's like, and now I'm explaining the combo for this, and now I'm explaining in detail how the Mega Blaster changes this animation and that animation, and you can do this combo and that combo, and it's just like, at a certain point, I felt like I was watching a tutorial for a game I'm not playing. Like, I don't need a tutorial. Is not going to sell me a game. That's usually the worst part of a game. So it was very weird in those two things. Like, you see it all the time. We talked about it when we were watching the Nintendo Direct at E3, where Smash Brothers, they just went into so much detail. It was just like, it turns you off a bit.
Yeah.
Much like I've turned you guys off with that round.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Moving on. Well, no, there's still a bit to do. Talk about Kingdom Hearts, I suppose.
No, Winnie the Pooh and puzzles. Cool. I've never played Kingdom Hearts,
which they've never done before or something. So yeah.
I've never played a Kingdom Hearts, so I don't comment.
Never, so it doesn't really intrigue me.
Let's talk about Final Fantasy though.
Yeah.
Ties into Kingdom Hearts, right?
Apparently so.
Next week, you'll be able to play Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns on an Xbox One using backwards compatibility. That's pretty cool. Next year, which we kind of already knew, you'll be able to play Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9, 10, 10-2, and 12. Which, again, is pretty neat.
Yeah.
What happened if have they lost Final Fantasy 8 down the back of the couch, do you think?
Maybe they came to the realization it was shite.
Strong words.
Just a Tom.
I don't.
It's the one with the gun blades, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which has that kind of weird like ending.
There was one aspect of that game
We all have
which
weird endings.
there's one aspect of that game which I didn't like, because it was never specified or told or in such a way of its importance. But you had to steal majority of your materia from bad guys, and if you didn't, you screwed yourself over. Like, not even like probably halfway into the game, so you ended up not being able to move forward. So you had to start the game again. Yeah, not great.
No, I mean, I never really got that far into loved 7, loved 9. But 8 was just like...
9, yes.
I got to some sort of parade, and then I couldn't figure out where I was meant to go because of the graphics, and I stopped playing.
The graphics!
Like a couple of months, and then years, and I'm like, yeah, I've given up on it.
Yeah, I remember.
Which one's that, Keith?
That was 8. It was...
Oh, 8. I think
Yeah.
I partially remember something about a parade. It was sort of similar to something that happened in 9, actually.
Yeah, I was just thinking of set the parade in 7. Where the Shinra parade where you have to do the moves at the end.
No, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
That's why,
I'm not sure now if there's actually anything like that in 9. I think it's 8, 7 that I'm thinking
I've got a save file on my PC. I really need to go back to that game because I was setting myself up to get 100% achievements on it. And I just ground out all the ultimate abilities and limit breaks and then stopped, I think, because my will had been broken because it took me like 15 hours. Because you have to do it for errors before the end of disc 1.
Yes, I did that when I was because I've got it on Steam as well, and I did that, and I got to part of the bit where she died, which was further than I got previously. That's a bit after weapon that afterwards, and I was like, I'm sure I'll come back to this. But I've been doing the stuff like going the right ways in the Blizzard to get like the holy materia and all this using guides, and I just couldn't be bothered anymore, so I took a break, and that break went on to a couple of years.
And that break has lasted 4 years. 7 years ago.
Yeah.
One day.
Similarly not completed it.
When I retire from like games criticism, like I'll go back and do it.
When I go back and play it again, I'm still gonna use a walkthrough, funny enough.
Things for Final Fantasy 7, like
Sea of Thieves is getting there's a new expansion which is coming out in November. We already know about that. Next year it's getting Arena. Now everybody seemed really excited about this, and even on Twitter people were like, oh, this sounds really cool. It's a PvP mode. It's Arena, so you're fighting other crews of players. Now correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't play Sea of Thieves for that long before I kind of got bored of it, but that was the one thing that, from the jump, wasn't great. PvP combat.
Must have been made it better. It was always aiming the cans was always a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
Sword fighting and gunfighting.
Yeah, that was also
was not great.
very spongy. It was just like, am I gonna hit at this distance? You know.
So I'm kind of confused as to why they've focused on this, but I haven't been back to the game since March, so I might go back to the game and check it out. But from where I left it, it's one of those things where I was like, this doesn't seem like a great idea, but maybe it's improved in X months. That was the one thing I did want to talk about, you know, when I was under embargo for like a year from that game. I was like, the combat's not very good, though. The combat's not very good. But I was always like, they can fix it. It's just a little airborne. It's still good.
It's still good. It's still good.
It's just a beta. They can fix it. They can fix it. I kind of want to check out State of Decay 2 again, though. Because I remember the only reason I didn't like that game so much was because it was buggy. But it's been like 6 months now. Maybe it's not buggy anymore.
Yeah, but didn't who was that guy on the stream?
There was someone in the chat who was like, "They haven't fixed the bugs," and I was like, "I'm sure they fixed some of them." There was the one with the car where the camera got locked in place.
Oh, lovely.
And then you just watch the car drive off into the distance, and it was like, "Oh shit!"
That's the end of the game.
I'm in the car. I'm in that car. I've got some classic.
Driving to a new state.
It's cool. There's new weapons coming.
Crossbows.
Yeah, and they were talking about going back to Trumbull Valley, which was the place in the first game. So it seems like they're going to add a new map as well. Cats and Pandas.
Nice trailer.
It was a fun trailer, right? Like, I really like that trailer. Minecraft
like
trailer, but
live action Minecraft trailer.
the cats and the pandas, like, they had a nap off.
Yeah.
But then they both woke up at the same time. It's just like, okay, this is cute.
The chief judges ruled up the pandas one.
Yeah, and then there was war.
Yeah.
The Forge for Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Looks good. Looks interesting. Looks very
For Tomb Raider, it's the first in 7 months in that season pass of like content.
Which is cool. I didn't know there was 7 months of content coming from the season pass because, again, as we've mentioned many times before, Square Enix has not done. This was the best marketing I'd seen for Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
The puzzles and stuff I was thinking of. I was trying to gather my thoughts. It looks more puzzle orientated. Well, not orientated, but like there's more.
Yeah, there's like a new tomb
which is
and challenges. And
what I've always enjoyed about the original Tomb Raiders. You know, like, yes, I enjoy a bit of story, but I was always there really just to solve the puzzles.
Mouse and keyboard support is coming to 14 games, some of which aren't out yet. But Bomber Crew, Warface, Children of Morta, Minion Master, DayZ, Warframe, Strange Brigade, Deep Rock Galactic, Vermintide 2, Moonlighter Wargroove, Vigor, War Thunder, Exmorph Defense, and Fortnite. Fortnite's a big one. They were talking specifically about Fortnite, which they
said when you play keyboard and mouse, you get matched between people with keyboard and mouse, so you're not mingling with people with controllers, and hence you won't have the advantage.
That's always been my biggest concern. That's why when they were announcing the list, I was sat in the stream going, no, please don't say Overwatch. Please don't say Overwatch. Please don't say Overwatch, because I don't want to play against people with keyboard and mouse, because they will have an advantage. And I don't want to play a keyboard and mouse. That's why I have it on an Xbox. Razer is making special keyboards as well.
Wireless ones.
Are going to have like custom light modes and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. Like,
from games, yeah, which the game developers will program into their games.
Forza Horizon is not something. I've got the wrong audience for Forza Horizon.
Yeah, I'm not that interested.
Blah 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 blah. Let's talk about Winter of Arcade. The one thing that got me to like perk up.
I don't know what this is. What is this?
Alright, so back on the Xbox 360, I'm just gonna type something in. Back on the Xbox 360, there was remember how there was an arcade console, specifically designed for sort of like indie games and stuff.
I think so, yeah.
Because their marketplace was called the Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah. Is that where you got like games like I made a game with zombies in it? Thing?
No, that was Xbox Live Indie Games. That was their self-publishing one. Anybody could publish on there. It was like
Okay.
Steam, which is why it was full of shit. And there were some legitimately good games in there too. Like I made a game with zombies in it. But Summer of Arcade was this event that they ran every year. So it was like a promotion. So new indie games would come out. It was usually there was between 4 and 6. It was usually 6, and they come out every week. And there'd be 6 brand new indie games that would be coming out on Xbox 360. And if you bought all 6, you would get the 5th one. Like if you bought 5, you get the 6th one free. Stuff like that. But the games that actually came out during Xbox Live, during the Summer of Arcade, were generally always really good games. So like games that came out of Summer of Arcade, Bastion in 2011 was one of the games that came out of it. I've got a list here. So you got things like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, Dust and Legion Tale, Fruit Ninja Connect was a Summer of Arcade game. From Dust, Bastion, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, Limbo was a Summer of Arcade game. Monday Night Combat, Trials HD, Explosion. There were so many good games that came out of it. So when he was like saying Winter of Arcade this December, it's like, yeah, because they're really good at picking the games for these things. These games are going to be really good. Bit disappointed we have to wait till the Game Awards to find out what the games are. But I wonder, because they talked because it was Chris Charla, the head of ID at Xbox, was sat with whoever it was talking about them. And before they did Winter of Arcade, they showed 4 games. Or they talked about 4 games. Sable, Tunic, Ooblets, and the other one. 4 good games. And I was just wondering if, like, I wonder if these are the games that are going to be in Winter of Arcade.
Maybe.
We'll find out in a few weeks. But, no, Winter of Arcade is going to be good. I guarantee that some good games are going to come out of that. One of Keith's favourite games of all time came out because of Summer of Arcade. So, and to be fair, some fucking outstanding games. And we all love Fruit Ninja, right? Especially with my Kinect.
I just heard about Fruit Ninja VR, so yeah.
Is it available on HTC Vive?
I don't know, but I'm sure Russell can Google it.
We will do it.
I'll find a
after the
hack
show.
around.
After the show, we'll get that set up for the next charity stream. That can't possibly make Keith motion sick. Anyway, like, am I missing anything? Oh, was just because that feels like it was all the big stuff.
No.
There was the cool moment where they.
Well, there was Just Cause 4, and you could do more in it.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Just Cause looks like fun, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay. It's like, just blow shit up. I was surprised to find out it had a story.
Yeah, it's weird. I just find it a bit too far-fetched for all the stuff you can do, like a wingsuit, and he's got his little grappling gun thing you can do weird things with, and you make cars fly, and
essentially the grapple gun thing is it was in Just Cause 3. You just tie 2 things together, so you point at one, point at the other, and they pull together, so you can like put one.
But the
on
things you can do with that, and just
it's nuts.
It looks ridiculous.
The idea, I mean, that's the idea behind Just Cause. It's meant to be just mental.
Because yeah.
It's like what, like even said.
Yeah.
It even came up when they were talking to the guy on the stage, where it was like, why would you do, like, why can you do such and such? I don't remember what he did.
I think it was a wingsuit or something.
Why can you do that? And then the guy just went, why not? Why not? It's Just Cause. Like,
I think it was like surfing a car and it was a tornado or something.
Yes. Yeah. Surfing a car in a tornado. I mean, it sounds fun, right? Like, I'm sure it's going to be. It just, as long as the novelty doesn't wear off, it'll be fun.
The tornado's going to be in the game
constantly. It moves about, which is cool.
It'd be a pain in the ass if you've got a mission in a certain location. There's a tornado there.
Fuck that. That just means everything can be crazier, right?
You could say you could capture.
Depends whether or not the person you're trying to get a mission dead or not. I've got a tornado.
There was a tornado gun, so I guess that'll play in
that was
capturing the tornado. Yeah, I think that was it. Like, there was the fun moment where they gave some random person in the crowd an Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'll grab you, young
It's like
person.
I love
Yeah.
that whole thing. It's like happy birthday. It's a year old. Like Xbox One X is cool. I guess we should give this to
Give
someone,
it away.
right? You, yeah, have
You
an Xbox.
like almost stage, probably just standing there
And then
waiting
that
to
kid's
receive
just like,
Xbox.
the fuck?
Yeah.
That
You
was-
just have the look of like,
What do you-
you know,
what do you-
just
I don't know. It looked a little bit staged, but it could have also been real.
I'm gonna just, from the sake of my soul, I'm just gonna assume it was real.
I don't believe in fairy tales.
I have to believe in fairy tales. You should see the last like 10 podcasts or something. I need something to believe in. Yeah.
To be fair, I think that they just looked at the group of people that were around them, picked the youngest kid there, and just handed them an Xbox.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say no to an Xbox X.
On a live stream in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
No,
No, you're
no,
alright.
you're alright. I'm a PlayStation fan.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have done that just for a laugh.
Imagine the
But
controversy.
it would have just been. It would have turned a heartwarming moment into a hilarious moment.
and to yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's gonna do it. XO18, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Got the Game Awards and the Kind of Funny Games Showcase coming up within like 3 days of each other. We need to figure out some live stream stuff for that as well. Yeah, there's some Xbox stuff coming at the Game Awards as they kept plugging it. So
Is that reveal or something maybe or some stuff?
Winter of Arcade games
Arcade.
for sure. They mentioned it at another point as well. I can't remember what it was for.
Hmm.
Might have been Crackdown 3. I think they were going to talk about showing off something to do with that. I'll look forward to it. But we ain't done yet, guys. But we're done now.